Hello everyone. This is the video on our macro update for the month of updated as on November. Yeah. So a small recap where we tell the constituents of GDP, which is consumption, which has 70% weight, investment 2%, government spends 27%, and exports minus imports virtually being at net zero. Yeah, so this is basically a heat map giving us what are the different variables that we are looking into an individual, basically a data point that we are looking into individual variables. And if we see the data point for consumption, what we have is the GST collection, generation, and the petrol consumption, passenger, and everything. So giving an overall, what we see is GST collections in the month of October has been on a positive side, where both the terms have been positive on the YOY perspective, and also for the current month is higher than the previous 12 months. And over the last few months that we are seeing is the GST collection is on the green side. So that's a positive factor as such. And the next data point that we have is power generation. So power generation again, it's in red color because basically what we mean is the power generation for the current month is lesser than the previous year, same month, and also the power generation for the current month is lesser than the average of 12 months. So on the last 3 months that we see, this has been a gradual slowdown where the last month it was yellow. Basically, one of the point was green, one of the point was red, so it's yellow. And for the current month that we are seeing is both are the negative. And coming to next, petrol consumption, again, it was a slowdown in the last month where the growth was positive in terms of YOY, but it was lesser than the 12 months previous average. But however, in the current month that we are seeing, basically for October, it has been positive on the both factors, and it's a good sign for as a consumption on the Indian economy. The next is the passenger vehicle sales. So basically, it says how much is the retail sales being done by the automobile sector on the passenger vehicles. Again, a slowdown in the current month for the as compared to the previous 12 months, while positive on the YOY factor. Payroll is something which is actually a data lag where we are receiving it. There's a 2 month lag that we have. However, it has been green, meaning such that the growth in terms of YOY is positive, but the current month data is also higher than the last 12 months. And the last factor in the consumption is basically the credit growth. Again, a positive in YOY and negative on the 12 months, positive on the 12 months average. Sorry. So overall, what we see is consumption is something which is on a mixed range where we are seeing also a red and also, some part of yellow. So overall, if we give the consumption was on the yellow side, basically YOY is positive, but 12 months is less. So in terms of investments, there was a net inflow in terms of investments from FIIs and DIIs ranging around 20,000 crores, wherein FII alone have put in 24,000 crores and DIIs have pulled out 4,000 crores during the month. However, we see huge fluctuations in FIIs inflows and outflows during last 6 to 8 months because of the geopolitical issues going on and the inflationary conditions that the Western countries have been seeing. Moving on to FDI. FDI is investment into private space in India by from overseas. So this data comes in every quarterly, and for the quarter ending September 2022, we saw an inflow of 82,000 crores, which is less than the last 12 months average, as well as comparing it from on a year-on-year perspective. Then moving on to government accounts, tax receipts is something which has been positive, majorly positive for last from March 2022. During the month of September as well, it was positive. And however, given that the tax receipts are positive, fiscal deficit has been increasing consistently for last 4 months out of 7 months. However, during the month of September, the fiscal deficit has gone down comparatively from other months.
and it is below the pre-COVID level as well.
So the next variable is the foreign trade. What we are seeing in foreign trade is basically all the variable data points have been negative. The export is on a negative side on a YOY and also as compared to the previous 12 months. And the import has been higher in terms of the YOY and also from the previous 12 months. So on a net effect, what we are seeing is that the trade deficit has increased and it is higher than the last year same period, and also it is higher than the previous 12 months. So on a foreign trade, what we are seeing is basically a negative or a slowdown on overall basis. And coming to the next point, basically general, it's actually a tracking something which is not in part of the GDP, but it affects the macro. So the first is the unemployment, again a slowdown as compared to the previous year same period, and also less than the average 12 months. While the inflation has slowed down, so it's a positive factor, and hence we are considered as the green. So this slide basically is a constituent of all the variables and basically the remarks that we have. We'll share across this slide with you with the video, and you can have a look to
better understand
for a better understanding. So this slide gives about the market update for the November 2023. What we are seeing is sectors such as IT, iron and steel and bank have been positive, while there was negative in terms of retailing, power and textile. The major gainers were Rail Vikas and IRFC. Basically, what is coming up on the news is that there's a huge government contract pending, and there's a new contracts that are coming up, so that has accounted for a positive factor. And however, the loser is basically 1997, basically, which is nothing but Paytm. Again, on a RBI factor that has come and said that there could be a market cap on the UPI payment. So that's an effect.
So concluding the macro aspects, we see that consumption, investments, and government spends all were in the positive range. So we have keen a green indicator there. However, the exports and imports is something which is still in negative, and our trade deficit has been expanding at an increasing rate consistently. So even though the factors, most of the factors are either green or yellow, we see that the growth is there in the economy, but at a lower pace.
And on the market side, where it's constituent of the BSE 500, what we are seeing is revenue is being slowing down over the quarter as compared to the previous periods, and also the price earning multiple has been on a higher side as compared to the previous year period, and also as compared to the pre-COVID levels. So that's it from our end for the macro variables. If you have any queries, you can reach out to us. Thank you.